Hello, wonderful world. Okay, I want to do a quick video on going quantum and what it means to live in the new version of reality that's been really showing up this year in 2023. Big time. I've been living in it for about a year now, but really in the last 5 months in an extraordinary way, as have many of my buddies. So I'll call it quantum reality just for fun. So, years ago, when I was first starting this work, it was like 20, 25 years ago, um, I would talk about 4 or 5 different levels of reality. And I'm going to just show you some of that now and how it's evolved recently. So, in the first level of reality, which I would call normal human reality, the way we all live, and sometimes that's you have a good day, and sometimes it's dull and dense and hard and reactive, etc. But it's pretty normal and ordinary, and I would say it streams at about a vibrational level like this. And then we started to kind of open up more. So a lot of people talk about opening the heart. There's more love, more kindness, more compassion. It's a bit more of just opening, and so it's more like this. So the vibrational frequency is more like the heart, and ah, like there's a kind of openness. And then the third level of reality started to show up, and that is what I would call visionary or creative reality. It's where you become whole. It's where you start to create. It's where you start to want to make a difference in the world. It's where you start to have vision and passion. So you're much more whole as a way of being open, I would say. And then when we moved into the fourth level, and these all happened over the last 25 years. So when we moved into the fourth level, I would talk about it as transformative, maybe even transcendent at some level. But it's an area where you start to reach out into consciousness. You start to look at the universe. You start to be a bigger thinker, a bigger creator of life, and you have an ability to transform and transcend things. So that's more like you've expanded into consciousness, the universe, etc. Now, the fifth level, which is really here right now, I'm going to call the quantum level. At the quantum level, you are like wild open. You become the universe, you become the force, you become all. You commune with nature, with life, with the universe, with etc. You have genius just pops and roars through you in a kind of superflow state. You become the source of reality rather than you're responding or reacting to reality as it comes to you. You become a source of reality. To some of my buddies, I was talking about this recently about becoming radiant suns. And literally, the whole version of reality flips. And as you walk in the world as a field or as a force for life to show up, you're not just affecting those right around you in your immediate environment. You're working with the whole world, with the universe, with all of consciousness, etc. And you are innovating and creating life as it wants to become. So that fifth going quantum piece, you've connected into the universe, the quantum field, the infinite intelligence, whatever term you want to use for it. You become a source of life, of reality, and you go into a super flow state of creation, and reality responds to you rather than you respond to reality. So that's a very kind of quick overview of how I see things changing. I've been leading the Source Leadership Workshop a month ago, and I'm about to start leading the Art of Sourcing course coming up the end of August 23 here in the UK. And really what I'm pointing to is that once you are in this quantum reality. Once you've become the force, the universe, the infinite, call it whatever you want. Once you become the source of life, then you have the capacity to be generative, to come up to anything that happens to you, no matter what, if there's a challenge, and none of those happen for me anymore because I'm sourcing reality, so it all works in flow. But let's say you did have a challenge, you would immediately go into quantum reality, this fifth level in which you are wild open, you are fully expansive, you're fully connected and plugged in. You are the universe, the force, the source of life. And then you just, I call it zing it up. You give it a quantum burst in the field of how reality occurs. And what happens is that in that space, everything reshuffles itself. And in that quantum field exist solutions and possibilities that we have not yet considered with our linear logical minds and our expertise and what we know already. Because when you face a challenge, we often go, like, what's happened? How will I deal with this? What can I do? And then you pull from your learned experience what you're going to do. This is so different. When you go quantum, it's like, oh, there's all these possibilities, and you don't have to figure it out. That's the beauty of it. It's like it pre-exists for you. The solutions, the possibilities, how you can innovate it, how it can turn out beautifully. They pre-exist in the quantum field. And I think that when we're only using our logical brains, we miss those possibilities of how life could turn out. So you connect, you come to wild open, fall wildly in love with life, feel yourself plugged in, connected, emerging. So you become more than your identity, more than your persona, more than your learned experiences. You plug in, you become the source of life, let's say. And then you take the quantum field of possibilities and genius and ideas and innovation, and you activate it for a solution for what you're up to. And then you come back and you just energize life. And then get on with what you're up to, and all of a sudden, stuff starts to come towards you and sorts it all out, which is absolutely wonderful. I absolutely love it. So there you go. I just wanted to kind of give an overview of that and play with it a little bit, and have you look at, are you a source of life, and where are you sourcing your life, and where are you not sourcing your life, and where you find you're not sourcing it, bring yourself to going quantum and becoming a source for life and reality to emerge. Okay, that's it for today. Great connecting with you. Thanks for watching. Lots of love.